Hey everybody, hardrockelectronics.com, also amprepairguy.com, 203-892-4119. So we have another Al80b. I'm waiting on a resistor for the Al80a meter I'm rebuilding. I have two of those amps here. I'm waiting on a pickup on one of them. Lots of other stuff going on. I'll have the TR/bias relay board available next week. It's going to go on hardrockelectronics.com up for sale. It'll be fully assembled. Great new option for people. But anyway, so back to this amplifier. Customer sent this in. Has tar on a bunch of the components. I'll wipe some of it off, but I'm not going to go crazy taking it all apart. So someone tried to replace the SO239s and put the screws in backwards. Man, that's not good. You end up busting your finger up. I'm not familiar with these ones, so I'm going to change them out. They have the silver-plated center. I use the gold-plated ones. I don't know how long these will last. So I'll take those out, redo those. It's quick. It doesn't take me long, so it's not like it's a whole bunch of extra money or anything. So I'm going to take the metal oxide varistors out. I'll put the gas discharge tubes in below the socket. I'm going to ground the grid connections. Holes are already here. I've said a million times, so why not, right? And these nuts a lot of times are loose, or the nuts below. So you just always want a really good connection between the tube grid and the chassis. Air variable caps look okay. Band switch appears to be okay. The front one looks okay. I don't know for sure until I go to test it. Customer said he was seeing some weird thing, like a SDR meter was jumping up to 5 or something. So he said he wasn't doing it with the other amp, so that'd be a first for me. A load issue created by the amp, at least a triode. But I'm going to go through it. Had a brown-based Taylor tube, and it's getting a brand new Pentalab tube. Awesome company. And the SO239s will be coming from Max Gain Systems. Did not have fuses in it because he took them out for another amplifier. Remember, 20 amp fuses for 120 and 10 amp fuses for 240, and then there's some variations of the current rating depending on if your line voltage is high or low or whatever. So always go by the manual, make sure it's strapped correctly. Okay, so also clean the contacts and the relays and the rotary switches with the oxide gold. Great stuff. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in a bit. Back with the completed Ameritron Al80b. Customer wants to see it working on 20 meters. There's the frequency, bird 43, 1 kW slug, bird PEP kit is on, going into a bird dummy load. Heat amp, audio hello, kilowatt, shh, audio tit, about 100 watts, 100 watts drive, tit. Audio hello, tit, audio hello. 0, LC set. Okay. Settings. One more time. Audio hello, tit. Works as it should. Okay, I'll crack it open and I'll show you the inside. Well, first I have to test the rest of the bands, but then I'll open it up after I shut it. Well, let the tube cool off, shut it off, high voltage bleed down, and unplug it. Okay, see you soon. Please like, share, and subscribe. So here's the inside. Got my test tube in there. Clean the band switch / rotary switch, tighten up on all sorts of hardware. Clean the input rotary switch, got rid of the green wire, got rid of the metal oxide varistors, added gas discharge tubes at the base of the tube socket, also fixed the solder joints for the filament leads going to the socket. They were not done well. Here are the old SO239s, the metal oxide varistors. So put in new SO239s from Max Gain Systems, everything's soldered nice. Put in new screws, new cap nuts, everything's tight. I always use a wrench. I get the cap nuts really tight. Clean the TR/bias relay with deoxy gold. Clean the soft start relay with deoxy gold. Touched up on other solder joints. Clean the rheostat, that was touchy. And tightened up on hardware. And that's about it. Also put in new 20 amp fast blow fuses. So if you need an amp repaired, feel free to give me a call. Phone number is 203-892-4119. Websites are amprepairguy.com and also harbackelectronics.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. 73. So I forgot to mention something. When I was on 160, I heard the slightest little arc and I couldn't get it to do it again. So I came in and I noticed that the edge of that plate was damaged a little bit, and I didn't see any other damage. So I talked to the customer. He did not want to replace it because I told him, look, it's just slight, just tiny bit. So I figured I could fix it. And you know, but I'm going into a perfect load here. So if he has a crazy ISPR, that could change. You know, so I filed it down. I buffed it up, cleaned the residue off with denatured alcohol, and centered the plate better because it was offset a little bit. And then I retested it on 160 and all the other bands. I threw it out of tune and tried to get the arc voltage up higher to see if it would arc, and no arcs, so it should be good. But I just wanted to tell you guys about that. Normally it gets replaced if it's really bad, but it was just a teeny bit, so gave him the option. This is his backup amp, so but we'll just have to make sure he doesn't have crazy SWR. He was talking about he had a 5-to-1 or something at one point, so that's probably what did it. Okay, so hope everyone has a great day. Please like, share, and subscribe. 73.